There are so many routines and rituals out there, but how do we know which ones are right for us? Which ones will give us the results that we actually want long term? I used to follow every routine and ritual that I saw on the internet, but the truth is not everybody is the same, which means everybody's wellness rituals or longevity protocols look different. This could be because you have different genetics or because you have different goals, but it's important to build a protocol that works for you. A few months ago, I started to create my own longevity protocol, one that's backed by data, by the way that I feel, and by science, not backed by trends or what's popular on social media. In this video, I want to show you guys how to start creating your own longevity protocol, one that actually feels good and works for your body, and even evolves with you over time. There are 7 chapters in this video that are going to help you create your very own longevity protocol. When it comes to a longevity protocol or wellness routines, there's no one size fits all. Every single person is different. And I think this is really important to keep in mind when you're building a longevity protocol. Everyone starts at different places or has different genetics or has different goals or even has different results. The way that I like to think of a longevity protocol is building a foundation. If you're building a house, you don't start first by picking the paint colors. You start first by laying a strong foundation. And so this longevity protocol can change over time. It can evolve with you. It can evolve with your goals. And you can easily add or subtract things from this protocol. The first thing that you want to think about is what your version of health and wellness means. For a lot of people, this means being able to get their 10,000 steps a day, or some people want to gain a certain amount of muscle, or some people want to be able to run a marathon. And so it's really important to define what your version of health is. Once you've defined what your version of health is, you want to work backwards. And so you ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do every week, every day, every month to get to this goal? So maybe if your version of health is to run a marathon in 12 months, then you set yourself up for success. Maybe you run 6 miles every Monday and Wednesday and Friday, and you build your protocol based around what your version of health looks like. This is one of the most important steps to building out your own protocol, because this is going to significantly change which rituals and routines you do daily and weekly. The next thing that you want to understand is, where are you starting at? Having an internal roadmap of what's actually going on in your body before you even dive into your longevity protocol can be really helpful, so that you meet your body where you're at and you also can learn about what you need to be doing to improve your body and your health over time. This could be getting something like an Oura ring or a Whoop and monitoring your sleep and monitoring your activity and even monitoring your stress levels. We live in such a unique time right now where we can have all of this data at our fingertips and we can analyze it in real time. And we've never had the ability to do this ever before. And so technically we can be healthier than we've ever been, because we can understand what's not working for us and what's not aligned with our goals. So for me, even just having this Oura ring for 3 months, I've learned so much about my body. I've learned that when I eat earlier, I sleep better. My resting heart rate is lower when I'm sleeping. Or if I have a night where I go out and have several drinks, I don't get as much REM sleep. And so by tuning in like this, you can change your daily habits to reflect a healthier version of yourself. Another thing that I did this year, which is totally game changer, is I did Function Health. Function Health is a blood test, but unlike other blood tests that only test 5 to 10 markers, Function Health tests over 100 different markers. So you're going to be able to look into your hormones, your inflammation, thyroid, your liver, your kidney, your vitamins, your minerals, your metabolic markers. So you get the full picture of what's going on inside of your body, not just a snapshot of a little bit of information. The other thing that really stood out to me about Function Health is it focuses a lot on longevity. And so building routines and rituals or protocols that help prevent things down the line, or showing you trends that you would have never known, and so you can change your lifestyle so that you avoid certain health problems. I love the idea of being proactive with my wellness and with my health to avoid larger issues down the line. And that's why we're in such an amazing time right now where we can do that. No one's ever had the ability to analyze their data and their body the way we can right now, which means that we can live better for longer and practice longevity throughout our entire lives. When you're building your own longevity plan, it's really important to have a long-term thinking plan. Things don't just fix themselves overnight or with one little thing that's super easy. Most of the time, you have to change your lifestyle, but this is going to help you avoid bigger issues down the road and feel better for longer. So now you understand what's going on in your body, you understand what your health goals are. Now you want to understand how to heal your cells at a cellular level. Our cells are constantly communicating with each other all day long, and the only thing that they're listening to are the habits that we do. For our body and our cells to be able to function the way that they're supposed to, we need to get our body into a state of autophagy. This is basically our body's cleanup process. And what happens during this process is our cells basically eat or kill the damaged or bad cells, and then they regenerate healthier new ones. And this is really important, especially for preventing disease, helping your body detox, and even slowing aging. There's a few ways to activate this. First is fasting between 12 and 16 hours. This gives your body a chance to repair those cells rather than usually just breaking down food. You also need to make sure that you're getting enough zone 2 cardio. So zone 2 cardio, you're not running, you're not in a full sprint, but your heart rate is elevated. I like to think of zone 2 cardio as speed walking or even going to a vinyasa flow class. You can also activate this by heat and cold therapy, so getting in the sauna or even getting in a cold plunge or doing a cold shower. When your cells are healthy and they're not damaged, you're not going to experience things like brain fog or fatigue or inflammation. And so there's another part of our cells that we care about when healing at a cellular level. We care about our mitochondria. We all learned about mitochondria so long ago. Mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. But mitochondria are basically these tiny organelles that produce ATP, which is your body's energy currency. And so if you have a damaged mitochondria, your body's not producing energy the same way. To heal your mitochondria at a cellular level, you can also get more zone 2 cardio. You can do red light therapy. You want to make sure you're getting that morning sunlight. And then vitamins like magnesium or vitamin B are amazing for healing your mitochondria. Other things that you can do to help your body heal at a cellular level is to stop eating processed foods, to decrease your stress as much as possible. Maybe that means meditating or doing some journaling, or even taking a few things off of your plate. Your cells also need deep sleep to be able to heal themselves. And then things like omega-3 fatty acids are great for also healing your body at a cellular level. So it's really the basics when we're thinking about healing at a cellular level. It's getting enough sleep, it's making sure you have your vitamins, and you're gonna know what vitamins you need based on your function health results. It's gonna show you exactly what your body is deficient in. You're gonna get more zone 2 cardio. You're gonna do more cold and heat therapy. You're gonna make sure you're getting good sleep and even fasting when you can. Recently, I have been eating dinner at around 5:30 p.m. And the number one thing that I've noticed is my sleep. I get a lot more deep sleep, and then my resting heart rate is a lot lower. But it also gives my body 12 hours of fasting before I wake up in the morning. And when I wake up, I usually immediately am making breakfast within the first 30 minutes to an hour of waking up. And I try to have a breakfast that's full of protein, at least 30 grams. When you're practicing fasting for 12 to 16 hours, you want to make sure that the first meal or the first food that you have right out of that fast is something super nutritious for you, because your body and your cells are going to absorb every single little bit of it. Somatic healing is so important when you're thinking about building your own longevity protocol. Somatic healing is healing your nervous system. Most of us are in this constant state of fight or flight, and we're experiencing so much stress that we don't know that we're actually chronically stressed. When your nervous system is in this fight or flight mode, there are many things that can go wrong. You can start to develop chronic inflammation, you can get heart disease, and you can even develop autoimmune conditions. And so when you have a calm nervous system, your body can return to its default state of healing itself. Having a calm nervous system is so critical for healing your body and healing your cells. Some of the best ways to practice somatic healing is to practice breath work. One of the things that I really like to do is deep belly breath work. Doing cold exposure or even dipping your face in a bucket of ice is going to help. We have this nerve called the vagus nerve, and we just want to strengthen this nerve, and that's exactly what deep belly breathing does and cold therapy. We also want to make sure that our circadian rhythm is in balance, so we're waking up and we're going to sleep at the same exact times. When we have a stable circadian rhythm, our nervous system is more in balance. It knows what's coming next, it knows what to predict. And then for me personally, I've found that one of the best ways to get out of that fight or flight mode or to get out of that stress state of mind is to get off of my phone, to get off of my social media, to get out into nature, to maybe even not even bring my headphones with me and do a walk and listen to the sounds around me and be present in this very moment in time. And I know that that sounds so cliche, but sometimes we just need a break. And we just need a moment of to ourselves. And that's what our nervous system needs every single day. And a lot of times we go weeks and weeks and weeks where we never give our body a chance to breathe. And so just even getting out of your phone, getting off of your computer, and getting into real life a little bit is going to help you start healing your nervous system. Light is medicine, and when you use medicine incorrectly, it can have very negative effects. And so we want to make sure that we're using light in a way that's healing our body and not hurting our body. The first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we're getting morning light first thing in the morning. So going outside and getting sun in your face, or if it's cloudy, just going outside and getting natural light in your face. This is going to help us balance our circadian rhythm. It tells our body it's time to wake up naturally. But we also want to be really careful with our blue light exposure. You can almost compare looking at your phone at night to drinking an espresso shot. Blue light basically disrupts our melatonin, and this is going to impair our sleep, so we're not going to be able to sleep as well, which is so important for cellular healing and longevity. So doing things like wearing blue light glasses at night, or even just making rules for yourself that you're not going to do any blue light after a certain time is really going to help you balance your circadian rhythm and have enough natural melatonin. There are environmental factors all around us that are slowly aging us. And I always like to think, I wouldn't water my plants with bleach, so why am I cleaning my kitchen with toxic ingredients or breathing in candles that I know are made of harmful ingredients? So making simple switches like changing out your kitchen cleaning supplies to be non-toxic, or even changing your laundry detergent to non-toxic is going to help prevent you from harming your body at a cellular level. We're in this time of the human experiment, I feel like, where we have all of these toxic products that we use on a regular basis in our homes. That means we most likely consume them a little bit when we're eating, if we put something on our counter and we just wiped our counter with something toxic, or maybe we're absorbing them through our skin if we're sleeping on our sheets after we just wash them in something that's pretty toxic. And we don't know the long-term effects of being so close to all of these hazardous chemicals. But there's so many ways to clean your kitchen or clean your bathroom or clean your clothes or your sheets or whatever you're doing in a safe and non-toxic way, where you're not surrounding yourself with harmful fragrances or bleach or formaldehyde or all the other random things that they throw in these cleaning products. Because if you watered a plant with bleach for a very long time, that plant is going to die. A few years ago, I started really prioritizing the products that I was buying, and I didn't just go into my kitchen or my laundry room and throw everything away. But when it came time to replace things, I just started replacing them with cleaner and better and non-toxic alternatives. Other things that can be slowly aging you that are environmental is eating too many processed foods. We were never meant to eat this many processed foods, and it kind of goes back to the human experiment thing, but what's worked for us in the past for so long is eating whole foods that are nutritious, that, come from our Mother Earth, and also drinking high quality water that's not filled with chlorine or fluoride, and making sure that we're not buying groceries that are filled with hormones or additives. So when you're building your own longevity protocol, really look at the products and the things that you're consuming and using on a regular basis and ask yourself, does this support my longevity health goals? The final thing that's super important when building your own longevity protocol is movement and strength training and stretching. Zone 2 cardio improves your mitochondrial health, so it's gonna help you heal at a cellular level. Personally, I'm trying to get Zone 2 cardio at least 45 minutes every single day. And then I recently just implemented weight training into my routine, and I'm trying to do this 2 to 3 times every single week. As you age, your muscle becomes protective for you. So not only does it reduce your risk of physical injury, it also supports your blood sugar balance and your joint health. Naturally, as you age, you lose muscle, and you're also not able to gain muscle as easily. And so it's super important to prioritize strength training. Even if you don't want to get bulky, you are not going to get bulky from going to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. It's actually very hard to build a lot of muscle. I used to be the type of person to think, okay, I don't want to go and lift weights because I don't want to get bulky. And it's almost offensive to people who do a lot of weight training because they have to do a lot of weight training to get big and bulky like they are. Muscle is really the organ of longevity. We're not just moving so that we can burn calories or look a certain way. We move because we want to stay alive, we want to stay healthy, we want to preserve our body for as long as possible, which is also why we want to practice stretching at least once or twice a week so that we don't lose our flexibility as we age. And that's how to build your own longevity protocol. You want to make sure that you're looking at every single aspect of your body as a holistic being, because all of our systems work together to create our longevity or our wellness. And so we want to make sure that our body is functioning at an optimal level in all of those different systems, whether that's your nervous system or your physical movement or your cellular healing. It all matters when it comes to longevity. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck creating your own longevity protocol, and I'll see you next time.